Hello everyone, I'm Kinjal Patel, Assistant Professor at LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology in the Department of Computer Engineering. So here is the part 1 of Chapter 3, Parsing Theory, Lecture 7. So in this lecture, we'll learn one more example of LL1 parsing. So these are the steps to construct LL1 parsing table. That first step is eliminate ambiguity from grammar if it is required to. Second step is remove left recursion or perform left factoring if it is required to. And third step is to compute first and follow of non-terminals. And fourth step is to construct predictive parsing table. So here is the grammar given. So first we'll check for the ambiguity in a grammar. So as the associativity rule and precedence rule is maintained in this grammar, so there is no ambiguity in this grammar. Now second step is to check for the left recursion. So in third statement there is left recursion in that statement. So first step will remove left recursion from the grammar. So first statement and second statement will be as it is, and third statement. So to remove left recursion, we'll see for the alternative which has no left recursion in it. So in this statement, in second alternative, there is no left recursion in it. So we'll select that alternative, that B derives C. So B derives C, and we will take one new non-terminal symbol B dash. So from B dash, so here in first alternative there is left recursion in it. So we'll select the term except first non-terminal symbol, because of left recursion is happening in this statement. So here the remaining part is AAC. So we'll select AAC. B dash. B dash is used to compute the recursion of this term. So B dash or null. And last statement will be also as it is. So now here is the grammar which will be processed to parse the input string. So we'll find the first and follow from this grammar. So step 2 is to find the first of non-terminal symbols of given grammar. So here S, A, B, B dash and C. There are 5 non-terminal symbols. So we'll find the first of each non-terminal symbols. Now the rule of non-terminal. Now the rule of first says that if we are finding the first of S, then we'll check for the first symbol at the right hand side of that S. So if there is terminal symbol at the first position, then that terminal symbol will be added directly in the first of S. But if the first symbol is non-terminal symbol, then we'll also check the production rule of that non-terminal symbol to find the first symbol. So we'll see it by example that here S derives AB. So A is the first symbol at the right hand side. So as A is non-terminal symbol, so we'll check for the first in that production rule. So here A derives CA or null. So here the first symbol at the right hand side is capital C. So C is also non-terminal symbol. So we'll check for the first in the production rule of C. So C derives B or null. Here B is terminal symbol. So B will be added in the first of S. Now next, here A is non-terminal symbol. So if A is non-terminal symbol and it derives null, then we'll replace that A with null. So here we'll replace A with null. So B will become first of capital S. So we'll also check for the first of B. So in the production rule of B, B derives CB dash. So here C is the terminal symbol. So C will be directly added in the first of S. Now here B is also non-terminal symbol. So we'll check for the production rule that does B derive null. So here B does not derive null. So no more rule will be added in the production of S. But here S derives A and A derives C. So as the C is first symbol of A and we will check for the first of that C. So here C derives B and null. So as this C derives null, so we'll replace this C with null. So after replacing C with null, A will become the first of non-terminal A. So A will be added in the first of S. So first of S is B, A and C. Now we want to find the first of capital A. So here capital A derives CA or null. As A derives null, so null will be directly added in the first of non-terminal symbol, and A derives CA. So as C is the non-terminal symbol, so we'll check for the first in the production rule of C, that C derives B and null. So B will be added in that production rule. As C derives null, so we'll replace this C with null. So A will become the first of capital A. So A will be added in the first of A. Now here we have added null in the first of A because A derives null directly. And here S derives A and A derives null. But the whole production does not derive null, so null will not be placed in the first of S. If A and B both derives null, then only null will be placed in the first of S. Here A derives null but B does not derive null, so only the production or the first of A and B will be added in the first of S. Now we want to find the first of B. So here B derives CB dash. So first symbol of the right hand side is C. So as C is terminal symbol, so C will be directly added in the first of B. So this symbol is terminal symbol, so we need not to check for the null production of any rule. Now fourth statement is B dash derives AA CB dash or null. So we want to find the first of B dash. So here first of B dash is terminal A, so A will be directly added in the first of B dash, and here first of B dash is null, so null will be added in the first of B dash. And last we want to find the first of C. So as first of C is B and null, so B and null will be added in the first of C. Here the important rule to note is that if S derives AB and if A derives null, then don't place null in the first of S if the whole production rule does not derive null. Here A derives null from S but B does not derive null, so null will not be added in the production of S. If we are finding the first of A and if that symbol derives null directly, then only we will place null in the first of A. So here we have found first of all non-terminal symbols. Now next step is to find follow of non-terminal symbol. So here the first of each non-terminal symbol, and we want to find the follow of each non-terminal symbols. So the first rule of follow says that if the symbol is starting symbol, then dollar will be placed in the follow of that starting symbol. Then second rule says that if we are finding the follow of capital A and the symbol which is following that capital A is terminal symbol, then that terminal symbol will be directly placed in the follow of A. But if the symbol which is following capital A is non-terminal symbol, then the first of that non-terminal symbol will be placed in the follow of A. Now third rule says that if we are finding the follow of capital B and no symbol is following B, then follow of left hand side means follow of S will be added in the follow of B. So first we want to find the follow of S, as S is starting symbol of this grammar, so dollar will be added in the follow of S. Now we'll check for the S in the right hand side of grammar rules. As S is not present in the right hand side of grammar rules, so no more rule will be applied to find the follow of S. So follow of S is dollar. Now next we want to find the follow of A. So here we will check for the symbol A at the right hand side of grammar. So here in the first statement there is A. So we'll check for the symbol following A. So here non-terminal B is following capital A. So we'll see for the first of B. So first of B is C. So C will be placed in the follow of A. So C will be placed in the follow of A. Now we'll check for the non-terminal, that is there any null in the first of B. So as there are no null symbols in the follow of B, so no more rule will be applied in the first statement. Now we'll check for the A symbol in the remaining grammar rules. Now here in the third statement there is A symbol. Now here in the fourth statement there is A symbol in it. So we'll check for the symbol following A. So here non-terminal C is following capital A. So we'll check for the first of C. So first of C is B and null. So the first of C except null will be added in follow of A. So here B and null is the first of B and null are the first of C, so only B will be added in the follow of A. So C and B has been added in follow of A. Now here as C derives null, so we'll replace C with null. So if we replace C with null, then the symbol following A is B dash. So here we'll also find the first of B dash and place the first of B dash in the follow of A. So first of B dash is A and null. So only A will be added in the follow of A except null. Means here A and null are the follow of B dash, but only A will be added in the follow of A, and we replace B dash with null as the first of B dash is null. So we replace B dash with null. So C and B dash both derives null. So now here as C and B dash has been vanished because of null. So as no symbol is following capital A, so follow of B dash will be added in the follow of A. As we have not found the follow of B dash here, so first we need to find the follow of B dash. So we'll check for the symbol B dash in the right hand side of grammar rule. So as B dash is present at the third statement, so here no symbol is following B dash. So follow of B will be added in the follow of B dash. So as we have not found the follow of B yet, so first we need to find the follow of B. So to find the follow of B, we'll check for the symbol B in the right hand side of grammar. So here in first rule, B is present. So B as no symbol is following capital B, so the follow of S will be added in follow of B. So follow of S is dollar. So dollar will be placed in follow of B. Now we want to find the follow of B dash. So here in B dash also there is no symbol following B dash. So follow of B will be added in follow of B dash. So follow of B is dollar. So follow of B dash will be dollar. Now in A here as C and B dash has been vanished because of null. So no symbol is following capital A. So follow of B dash will be added in the follow of A. So now we have found the follow of B dash, which is dollar. So dollar will be added in the follow of A. So that's why here we have added dollar in the follow of A. Now last we want to find the follow of C. So here in second statement there is C present in the right hand side of grammar rule. So here terminal A is following non-terminal C. So directly that terminal symbol will be placed in the follow of C. So A will be added in the follow of C. Now here in the fourth statement, C is present at the right hand side of grammar rule. So here the B dash is following C. So as B dash is non-terminal symbol, so first of B dash will be added in the follow of C. So first of B dash is A and null, as A has been already added in the follow of C, and here will not add the null in the follow of C, will replace B dash with that null. So here if we replace B dash with null, then B dash will be vanished. So no symbol is following C. So if no symbol is following C, then follow of B dash will be added in follow of C. So follow of B dash is dollar. So dollar will be added in follow of C. So here we have found the follow of each non-terminal symbols. So first and follow has been found for each non-terminal symbols. Third step is to construct predictive parsing table. So here is the first and follows table which we have found and the grammar. So predictive parsing table consists of non-terminal symbols and terminal symbols. So each row represents the non-terminal symbols and each column represents the terminal symbols. So we want to make the entry of production rules in the predictive parsing table using first and follow. So here if we want to make the entry of S derives AB, then we need to find the first of right hand side. Here, if we want to make the entry of S derives AB, then the S derives AB production will be placed in the shell of terminal symbols of its first. So here, if there is only one alternative in the right hand side, then the S derives AB will be placed in the first of S. But if there are more than one alternative in the right hand side, then the production will be placed in the first of that alternatives only. For example, here S derives AB. So here the first of AB will be first of S. So here first of S is B, A and C. So we'll place S derives AB in A, B and C. So S derives AB will be placed from S to A, from S to B and from S to C, because there is only one alternative in the production of S. So S derives AB will be placed in the first of S. Now in second production, that A derives CA or null. So there are more than one alternatives. There are two alternatives in it. So we'll find the first of right hand side. So each alternative will be, so as each alternative has different values in the first, so the alternative will be added in the first of each alternative. For example, here A derives CA will be added in the first of CA. So we will find the first of CA. So here first of CA. So here to find the first of CA, C derives B and null. So here first of CA will be B and will replace C with null. So first of CA will be A. So A and B symbol will be added in the first of CA. So the production A derives CA will be added in A and B. So from A to A derives CA will be added, and from A to B, A derives CA will be added. Now A derives null. So as first of null is null, so if the production derives null, then we'll check for the follow of that non-terminal symbol. So here A derives null, so we'll check for the follow of A. So follow of A is C, B, A and dollar. So we'll make the entry of A derives null in A, B, C and dollar symbols. So from A to A derives null will be added. Then from A to B, A derives null will be added. Then from A to C, A derives null will be added. And from A to dollar, A derives null will be added. So here we have made the entries of A derives CA and A derives null. Now next we want to make the entry of B derives CB dash. So here as there is only one alternative at the right hand side of B. So the first of CB dash will be same as first of B. So as first of B is C. So we will make the entry of B derives CB dash in the C, means we'll make the entry of B derives CB dash from B to C. So from B to C, B derives CB dash will be placed. Now in fourth statement, there are two alternatives in it, that B derives A, C, B dash and B derives null. So we'll find the first of A, C, B dash. So the production rule B dash derives A, C, B dash will be added in the first of A, C, B dash. So first of A, C, B dash is A. So B dash derives AC, B dash will be added in the A symbol. So from B dash to A, B dash derives AC, B dash will be added. Now B dash derives null. So if any non-terminal symbol derives null, then we'll check for the follow of that non-terminal. So follow of B dash is dollar. So B dash derives null will be added in the dollar. So from B dash to dollar, B dash derives null will be added. Now we want to place the last statement in the parsing table, that C derives B and C derives null. So there are two alternatives in the last statement, C derives B and C derives null. So we'll make the entry of C derives B in the first of B and we'll make the entry of C derives null in the follow of C. So C derives B. So first of B is B. So C derives B will be added in the input symbol B. So from C to B, C derives B will be added. And C derives null. So as C derives null, we'll check for the follow of C. So follow of C is A and dollar. So C derives null will be added in A and dollar. So from C to A, C derives null will be added, and from C to dollar, C derives null will be placed. So here we have made the entry of each production rules in parsing table. Now we want to check that this grammar is LL1 or not. So if there are more than one entry in any shell of parsing table, then that grammar is not LL1. So in this LL1 parsing table, there are two shells in which more than one entries of production rule. So this grammar is not LL1 because there are multiple entries in single shell of parsing table. So in this lecture, we have constructed predictive parsing table using first and follow. Thank you.